Hello, and thank you for joining MPA TV with another segment of the Specialist Spotlight. Joining us today, Janine Kempfer, President and Broker Owner with Prime Mortgage. Janine, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. You were telling me about a tricky deal that you just had to recently fund where it sounded like it was a VA deal. There was a little bit of disability involved, some down payment assistance needed. Looked like there was some debt that needed to be cleared up as well. So, yeah, so tell me a little bit more. How did this one initially get in touch with you? And how did the process get started?
Yes, it's had all the things. So I partner with an organization that provides $10,000 grants to single women who are first-time home buyers. It's an amazing program, and they referred her to our organization, knowing that we will do whatever it takes to get a deserving woman into homeownership. So in this particular case, this woman is a veteran. And she was in an apartment that notified her that her rent was going to go up about $800 a month, and she couldn't afford it. So she wound up in a hotel, which isn't ideal. And she just thought, I don't ever want to be in this position again. I want to get into a home instead of another apartment. And so that's how she met up with the nonprofit. We met up with her. We did that loan app. It looked like she should be okay. She did have to clean up a little bit of credit to get her score up, which she did right away. We ran into an issue because we needed her student loans to be cleaned up, number one. She had a bunch of deferred student loans. She's a teacher. And the underwriter needed the letter to say something that it didn't say. I don't even remember what it was, but it was not what they wanted. And we literally, between me, my assistant, and my processor, spent probably 24 hours on hold trying to get what we needed. We never did get it. Long story short, we wound up going to the VA regional office. Luckily, that's here in Denver. And we met with someone, and we had them write a letter saying that we're okay with what the student loan lender has put on this letter. Go ahead and approve the loan. So we got over that barrier. Diva has an adult disabled son who receives income that she wanted to use. So we had to fight to get through that and be able to use that income. And then just when we thought we got through all the hurdles, she also needed to show 12 months rental history, that she hadn't missed a payment. Well, her landlord said she missed 3 payments, which was not right. So we had to help her fight through that, get the documentation, make sure that she did have the clean history. And on the other side, the sellers would not budge on moving the closing date. They were not the easiest people to work with. So all the way around, it was just very stressful deal. But we pushed through it. I saw that this was a loan that could be done. And I felt like my client deserved it. She's a veteran. She takes care of her disabled son. She's a teacher. If anyone deserved to own a home, it was her. So I wasn't going to give up on her if she didn't give up on herself, and she didn't. So today I'm happy to say that she is a homeowner.
That's awesome to hear. So it also sounds like you weren't the first option. This customer maybe went to another broker, another lender, and wasn't able to get funded, wasn't able to move forward. So was there any additional obstacles that you had to overcome that other folks, weren't able to kind of come through on? Because it seemed like you went through probably, I wouldn't say one hurdle or maybe even 5, maybe a dozen, but I mean, were there some things that you did that stood out that others weren't able to do?
Yeah, absolutely. When we get an application in, we don't look for the perfect application for right now, and it wasn't a perfect application. So starting with her credit score, it was too low. So like I said, she did a few things and quickly got that up. But also her income was tricky. She's a teacher, but she also works a second job as a teacher. So figuring out that income and trying to make it make sense for the underwriter was also kind of a daunting task. So the first lender just said your credit's too low and you don't have enough income and you're living rent free and we can't do it. Or not really rent free, but you don't have a lease. So those were the things that pushed her away from the original lender and to us. So we're happy that we could, work all those things out for her.
Sounds like a great story, and you obviously went the extra mile. She's in a home, which is awesome to hear. What is your relationship like now with that borrower? Are you still in touch? Have you been the ultimate referral source? Janine can do things that others can't. I mean, what does that look like now that the loan has come through?
We've definitely gotten referrals, and she had a big housewarming party. She invited us, and it was just really heartwarming to see how proud she is um, to be a homeowner and just how she talks about it. She stands up a little bit straighter now. So we'll definitely have a long-term relationship, as I do with all my clients. But this one was special.
Well, love hearing that. So, advice to other brokers that may encounter something similar, where it's a little bit challenging up front, further obstacles along the line, and even some hiccups when you get close to the finish line. I mean, what advice would you just even have for other originators to, kind of work through a similar scenario?
Well, the first thing is really get to know your borrower. Get to know what you're looking at, because something that looks like it shouldn't be a deal, it usually is if you just give it, that second or third effort. Sometimes it does take a third effort. Some people choose to do the easy, fit in the box kind of loans, but there's a lot of business out there where it doesn't easily fit in the box. So take a step back, really look at it, know your guidelines, because you can't fight for someone if you don't know the guidelines, and be willing to challenge, your underwriter or an organization about what, their decision is if you know for sure that it doesn't line up with what the guidelines are. So really, look at your borrower from their perspective, help them first before thinking about the paycheck at the end, because the
Okay.
paycheck will always follow.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it sounds like a great story. Again, thank you for sharing it with us. And for the watchers and listeners out there, we appreciate you joining MPA TV and the Specialist Spotlight. Janine, thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you.